afternoon, everyone, and welcome to What the Why with Barbara Ann. If you haven't seen us before, our show features conversations with diverse leaders from all walks of life about why they do what they do and how they figured things out. Maybe you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, or you feel stuck and you want to get unstuck, whether it's in your job or your education or even your life. All of our guests have felt similarly at some point in time and decided to do something about it, and today is no exception. Please join me in welcoming Ann Lewis, International Coach Federation Professional Certified Coach and owner of Me Coaching Me in Montreal, Canada, and Ipek Williamson, Certified Change Management Coach and owner of Ipek Williamson Coaching in Ontario, Canada. I met these two amazing women through Positive Intelligence and the Positive Intelligence community, and I knew I had to have them as guests. But before we learn about their partnership and how they came together, let's learn a little bit about each of them. We're going to start with Ipek. A beacon of change and transformation, Ipek Williamson seamlessly blends 2 decades of corporate expertise with her roles as a coach, mentor, speaker, author, meditation advocate, and teacher. Specializing in guiding overwhelmed individuals, Ipek empowers them to find peace and harmony amidst modern complexities. Drawing from core values, mental fitness, and mind mastery, she helps clients unlock their potential, navigate change confidently, and embrace transformation joyfully. Ipek's impact goes beyond coaching. Through her more than 80 acclaimed meditations and live sessions on the Insight Timer Wellness app, she extends her influence for growth through the workshops, courses, and trainings that shape individuals, groups, teams, and corporations. And as a change champion, Ipek's journey exemplifies positive change, inner serenity, and empowering transformations. So now, let's meet Ann. Ann Lewis, International Coach Federation, PCC, or Professional Certified Coach, is a strengths-based coach who specializes in supporting clients in the change from single to married life. As a former top award-winning CTV broadcaster, Ann's specialty is communication. She didn't just win any award, she won the Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Journalism. I think I got that right, she'll correct me if I didn't. But in addition to that, 35 years of happy marriage to her husband have taught her a thing or two about the ups and downs of marital life, healthy disagreement, and doing the work and play that are at the base of a successful marriage. As I mentioned, she's a professional certified coach credentialed by the International Coach Federation and has almost a decade of experience specifically in that. She loves helping her clients towards a better understanding of themselves, one another, and their relationships, and she defines herself as a narrative coach, helping her clients rewrite the stories they tell themselves about their lives. She offers several approaches, including positive intelligence, you've heard that word before, and mental fitness to the mix, with a focus on how our inner critics sabotage our relationships. The antidote is developing the inbuilt wisdom that every person has at their disposal. So how did these two amazing women unite as a team to fulfill their respective whys, with one being in Montreal and the other being in Ontario? That is part of what we're here to talk about today. I'm so excited to have Ipek and Ann joining us live via Zoom from their respective locations in Canada. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Ipek and Ann to the show. So round of applause, yay!
Thank you.
Very nice to meet both of you. So as our audience knows, the first question that we ask every guest after we've read through their amazing bios is, what did they want to be when they were little, when they were growing up? So we'll start, Ann, with you. Ann, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
You know, it's such a great question, and I love that you've built this whole concept around this. So when I was a teenager, trying to figure out the future. And I said to my dad, like the song goes, what should I be? And he said, don't worry about that. Your husband is going to take care of you. So he said, do what you love. And so I did do what I loved. I went to university and I studied literature and languages and visual art, and I had a ball. And I came out with nothing that you could call a skill that would buy me anything on the work front. And after about 5 relationships that weren't going anywhere, I thought, you know what? I think I really need a career that pays me an independent living before I go anywhere and do anything. But I have to say that I have no regrets about the wonderful time that I had in this beautiful university in the east of England, having cups of tea and enjoying the lovely people and learning about art. So that's the beginning of what I wanted to be, the first stage of it. Ipek, you want to add yours?
Sure. It's so interesting. When I was little, like 5, 6 years old, I wanted to become a dancer. And then it changed to a top model around age 7. And then I wanted to become a doctor, medical doctor, which I found afterwards a little bit difficult and long education. So then around that time, I was watching the Love Boat show, TV show, those days, and I really loved the cast there and their characters, and it really pushed me toward thinking around learning to be in service industry, and I ended up going to tourism and hotel administration subject at college. But then after trying that a little bit, I realized that I didn't like it. Though it's so funny that now I find myself in full circle in not in the service, but the love part of the Love Boat. So yes, and I ended up becoming an executive assistant, and I worked over 20 years in that area. But then I am so happy and lucky that I found my calling, which is meditation and coaching. And now I'm trying to help everyone coming my way, our way, together with Anne, to give a happier, more fulfilled, more a life that they can self-actualize better.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually a great segue to what is always my second question, which is, how did you get to where you're doing now? So since we were just with Ipek, let's start with you. So you found your calling. How did you find your calling?
Well, the reason why I'm a big meditation advocate and teacher is because meditation really shaped me, my focus, and helped me find my life purpose. Because the more I sat still and sat in quiet, meditated, the more my intuition and inspiration, my creativity got more and more pronounced and stronger, which helped me find the gifts that I have within me. Because I believe that our inner selves, our inner child is speaking to us 24/7. And for us to be able to start hearing it, we need to be in silence. We need to give it a chance to be heard. And I think I did that for my inner child, so that my inner child guided me toward the path I am today.
Awesome. And Anne, I mean, you kind of jumped to the fact that, you decided to pursue a career, but I mean, you were on CTV, you were an award-winning journalist. I mean, how did you get to the point where you realized that coaching was your calling?
Well, great question. I really had coaching thrust upon me by a Mercedes in Rome. So the same month that I won that award, the highest award in American journalism, Edward R. Murrow, thank you very much. That same month, I was on vacation in Rome and got knocked over by a Mercedes, and the metaphorical microphone of my career was knocked out of my hands, and I've never reported since. I had a 3-year recovery from the injuries sustained. And one of the therapists said to me, you know what, I think you would make a really good coach, a life coach. And I said, are you kidding? That's not a real thing. And my bullshit meter was kind of like way over there. Ding, ding, ding. And well, being a reporter and a researcher who admired this therapist, I said, okay, well, I'll research it. And long story short, I discovered that there were forms of coaching that were the real thing, that there are ways to be a coach using evidence-based methods based in science. And I went back to university and I got 2 postgraduate diplomas, one in change management and one in goal-focused coaching. And when I was training in positive intelligence, Ipek and I met each other during our training, and we thought we'd really like to work together. And we decided that the thing that we have that we really want to share with the world is our experience in being married. Me, 35 years in a happy marriage, and she, 2 different experiences with marriage.
Yes.
And I love that. And positive intelligence is how I met both of you. And
Right.
So for those who might be new to the show, who wants to take a stab at explaining what positive intelligence is?
Well, do you want to go, Anne?
Okay. And then you can fill in the blanks.
Sure.
So I'm a narrative coach. I help people understand the stories that they're telling themselves. And I have a background in literature and I understand story. And I've always wondered what that constant soundtrack was in my head that was giving me a play-by-play of what I was doing in a terrible way. It was always negative. It was always making me feel inadequate.
Yeah.
And I wanted to find the positive voices that I could put in instead of that terrible inquisitor, that master saboteur, we could call it, the judge, the voice of the judge. Where does it come from? Why the heck is it yammering away in my head, and what can I do about it? So when I found positive intelligence, I thought, this is a really straightforward, wonderful, easy way to help people understand those voices, because it comes with an app. And in our case, we call it the Love Machine app, because it helps people understand their love. And it brings us to our strengths. Once we can silence the judge and his friends, we can learn how we can be wise and wonderful people without needing to go to that saboteur voice area. Okay, what did I leave out?
No, you did a great job, but I want to add something about our work together for couples, because the reason why we want to help early stage couples and engaged couples go from nervous to knowledgeable about themselves, their partners, and their relationship is because we both have really good relationship with our significant others, with our husbands, and we know how essential it is to have an open, loving, compassionate, but also growth focused relationship. And positive intelligence is rooted in the latest research and knowledge in the fields of neuroscience, cognitive behavior psychology, performance science, and positive psychology. So we really love to use these scientific sides of the program, and also guide engaged couples willing to become better human beings, who want to work on themselves and improve both as an individual and as a couple.
Awesome. A great explanation. Literally couldn't have said it better. And I also am a positive intelligence coach. Believe it or not, we're actually at the halfway point of the interview already. So for our viewers, we're going to take a small break for our sponsors. And as we're coming back from commercial, you're going to see some testimonials from clients that Ipek and Ann have worked with together. So please return for more with Ipek and Ann and Barbara Ann on What the Why on RVN Television.
I would say it improved our relationship in terms of communication, because we've always been very good at communication, but it gave us a different language to connect in. So learning the terms together and being able to put a name to how we're feeling instead of just using very general emotion terms is very helpful. Nick would say he was feeling anxious, and I didn't really know. I was like, well, what made you feel anxious? What do you mean you're anxious? What type of anxiousness are you feeling? And then recently it's been more, my pleaser saboteur is causing me stress, or my saboteur pleaser is coming out. And then I know exactly what he's talking about, because I know the root of it, and I know that what we've learned to help resolve it, instead of just that very broad term of anxiety.
Throughout the whole course, getting to know Ann and Ipek even more, the way that they were able to teach the information and teach the course itself was, like I said in the beginning, surpassing expectation. Yes, I would 1,000% recommend it to anybody that is in the process of maybe even getting engaged or already engaged. You know, we've always been good communicators, like Dorothy said earlier, but it has taken it to a whole nother level with this course. And she mentioned having a different language. It really is interesting to see the way that we took the information from this course and were able to adapt it to our own daily lives. And so that ability has just been fantastic. And so that is why I would recommend this to any couple out there.
All right, welcome back to What the Why with Barbara Ann and today's very special guests, Ann Lewis and Ipek Williamson, both certified coaches, both offering positive intelligence, both on their own journeys until they come together, almost colliding in the most positive of ways in positive intelligence. So let's talk about how you decided to work together. Who wants to take that one on first?
Well, I can talk about that. So when we were taking the training together with Anne in the same cohort, we didn't know each other, but there it was the time for us to share our I am statements in the community. And I shared mine, and Anne just contacted me and said, I really like your I am statement. I would love to meet you, like talk to you. And I didn't even at the time know that she's a Canadian. So no. we just set a Zoom call and we talked. We really liked each other. We learned a lot about each other, and then we talked again and then again, and it became like really natural thing to start doing something together, because we are so aligned and we work really well together. We complement each other in many areas that successful business requires, per se. And now we are specializing on, as we said, on couples, engaged couples, or long-term couples, but also we like to work with wedding planners, wedding vendors, because this work brought us in connection with those vendors, and we realized that they also are quite overwhelmed and they also require some support. And not only that, we can help each other in making their clients, their engaged couples who are getting ready to get married, feel more confident and commit to a lifetime together with ease and flow. So that's how all these brainstorms and yes and games that positive intelligence gives us. Anne and I decided that we can do this. We can be of help for so many couples and so many wedding vendors. So that's how we are here.
And so we just heard from one of the couples that you've worked with. Talk about the approach that you use in terms of how positive intelligence works.
You want to take that, Anne?
Okay, so they go through the 7-week course and they learn about their saboteurs, all the different saboteurs that they may or may not have. They take the assessment to find out what positive intelligence thinks is their main voices that are talking to them about what they should be doing when perhaps they might not really want to do it. And then they learn about their sages, how that they can develop the powers of empathy and compassion, of creativity and exploration, of innovation, and then bold action. They learn all of these things with us. And while they're doing it, they're developing their own private language in a way. Like you heard in the clip, Dorothy will hear from Nick, it's my pleaser saboteur. And she goes to herself, okay, so now I really know what's bugging him. And they both know that the problem with the pleaser saboteur is that if you please somebody too much, you're going to start to feel resentment. So they know to be on the lookout for Nick's resentment, which he would probably never voice. And Dorothy knows to stop allowing him to please, for example. So these are the ways in which we help people understand that conflict can be positive. It doesn't have to be something that you run away from. You understand that people have differences of positioning, but the positioning is not the ultimate place that you want to get to. You want to get to a mutual vision of where you want to be together. And so that they can work thinking furthermore ahead than just being annoyed, say.
Yeah.
And to add to that, you said it perfectly, Anne. And what happens is they deepen their understanding of each other and themselves by bringing mental and romantic fitness to their relationship, so they can commit with sensitivity, thoughtfully, and truthfully to a shared future. And by exploring the inner voices and making themselves aware of the impact of the judge and the saboteurs, listening to the inner promptings of the unconscious voices running scripts in their heads and urging them to be in certain ways, to do things that they probably don't even agree with, they then position themselves to articulate and implement their thoughts in their life together. So they launch a meaningful marriage and a long-term happy relationship.
Yeah. And what better...
which can affect... Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Which can affect
their children, if they have children, their work relationships, because once they polish this ability inside their relationship, then they can take it outside and expose, their children, obviously. And how wonderful is that, to bring up children who are positively intelligent, who have an emotional intelligence, and they can take it into their workplaces. Nick, by the way, just had Nick lost a lot of weight, and Dorothy had a huge promotion at work, right? Wow. So the impact of positive intelligence on the couple doesn't just stay in the couple, but really, like ripples in a pond, takes them further.
Wow. Well, believe it or not, we are at time. And so really quick, I mean, kudos to you. I mean, two relationship experts coming together, teaching others about relationships, I think is fantastic. And before we go, your information is going to be included, but what is the best way for people to contact you individually as well as a partnership?
My website is ipekwilliamsoncoaching.com, and I'm also reachable on LinkedIn and other social media outlets. But we run together play shops with Anne, monthly play shops, and we're going to be sharing the link with you for you to share with your audience. Barbara Ann.
Awesome.
So we would love to have them with us so that we can share this and they can see if they would like to go for a positive intelligence relationship fitness program with us.
Okay, and any last words, Anne?
Yeah, well, those play shops are free, and you're very welcome to come and check us out, see what we're up to. And I'm at mecoaching.me, and I'm also on LinkedIn, and I'd love to meet whoever is interested.
Awesome. And thank you so much. I'm so honored and grateful that you guys both came on the show today. And I look forward to seeing you again in the positive intelligence community. It's truly been a pleasure. So thank you again. And for our audience, regarding upcoming guests, we are booked through March, and I can officially confirm we're returning for a third season. So you don't want to miss any of the upcoming guests that we're going to have. They are business owners, coaches, authors, technology experts, entrepreneurs, former professional skiers, and more. And many of them have overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges, not that dissimilar, although everybody goes through things differently. Just like Anne, others have been through some really life-pivoting moments. So please believe me when I say you don't want to miss what any of them have to say about their journeys. And if you have missed any of our past guests, you can catch all of Season 1 and Season 2 to date on the What the Why page of RVN Television websites, RVN Television's website. You have so many viewing choices these days, so thank you very much for watching our show, and please tell a friend and colleague about us. As a reminder, What the Why airs on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Mondays at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and is also available on demand. And also, please remember, whether you're looking to make changes in your life, no matter how big or small, please tune in for more informational, inspiring, informative, and really life-affirming conversations with guests such as Ipek and Anne, who overcame whatever challenges or obstacles lay in their path, whether it was distance or otherwise, to find their purpose together and live it.